So, quick rant, quick update. So, 6 months ago in February, I caught COVID. It was rough. It was literally one of the worst times I've ever felt being ill. I went through excruciating pain. It got into my chest. If you want to see details, go to my video in my IGTV and you can see that video. But the issue is, it was bad. It was one of the scariest times of my life where I felt like, hey, you might not make it. Now, the reason I want to make this video is sort of give you an update of where I am and to just let you know that it took approximately 5 months for me to feel normal. And the reason I put that in quotes is I don't know if I still have long-term effects because I can't identify the feelings. In other words, the body adjusts to whatever stress that you're under, so you don't know if you're actually still suffering from other issues that you can't identify. So I'll leave it like that. But the reason for this video is because I have identified that there are serious issues with our society moving on, meaning opening up fully and being able to function. As a photographer, I haven't made an income, a proper income from photography for over 19, I guess I could say almost 18, 19 months now. And that's due to the fact that we're still going through, these issues where we're closing down or we're restricting travel, or we have issues where people are not adhering to the rules for us to actually move forward as a society. And that brings me to this one issue. There's a lot of vaccine hesitancy. And this is something that I find interesting because I have identified, and I am someone who loves to follow social issues. And I want to throw this out here, and you let me know if I'm right or I'm over exaggerating. But we are now in a culture of individualism. And if you sort of look at where we are as a species, and I think social media and modern technology has brought this to the forefront. And I'll explain it to you like this. If you look at social media, everybody is about me, 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 me. And that is important. That is crucial for you to market yourself. But it's all about look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And it's all about me. But no one looks at the society. But yet they complain when the society has to fight back. So if, for example, you have the right not to get the vaccine, absolutely. But you don't have the right to give me the virus. Am I not right? You don't have the right to give me the virus. That means, and I'll put it to you like this. This is an old saying. You have the right to swing your fists any direction, wherever you want. But once it contacts my face, your rights are over. At that point, I have to defend myself. You could swing that baby anywhere you want, as long as it's within your space. The problem is that a virus don't give a shit about beyond your space. So you're technically breathing and giving me the opportunity to be killed. Now, I am no 20-year-old. I am no 30-year-old. I am in a higher risk category for this virus. So technically, I'm at a death rate to be killed from this virus if I caught it again. Because I now have underlying issues with the first virus, version 1. I like to call it version 1. I had version 1. Now I'm being told that they're freaking variants. All right, there are variants out there. The Delta variant is more transmittable and it seems to be more dangerous. Now, do I want to get this thing again? No. So that means I'm vaccinated to the hilt. to try to get as much protection based on the scientific evidence that I have. I get so much pushback from some of my friends who are saying, oh, the virus hasn't been tested. What are you thinking testing means? For some reason, people don't look at the fact that that some of the viruses that some of the vaccines in the past were never tested. Okay? For example, the smallpox vaccine was never tested, right? But it had killed almost 300 million people, and they had to get it out there so that people could survive. Now, we don't talk about smallpox because a large percentage of the population has been vaccinated. We don't talk about measles, we don't talk about tuberculosis, we don't talk about any other of those old problems and pandemics that we used to have because we've all been vaccinated. Vaccines work. And so now we're in this modern age where we can actually map the human genome, the human DNA. These are technological advances that all of these people who don't understand medicine are saying, oh, it hasn't been tested on human trials. We can do most of this work in the lab because we know exactly how the human body works. So this idea that we're hesitant falls flat on its face based on the fact that we're now much more technological and medically advanced, and we can do testing that... No testing is 100%. We all know this. We all know that vaccines in the past have also killed other people with compromised immune systems, with other underlying issues. This is life. You know that actually painkillers kill more people in this world than anything else? Much more than vaccines. I just get frustrated with this idea. But this brings us back to the big issue that I'm trying to get you guys to understand. This idea of individualism, I am not doing it because I have the right. No, the problem is you have the right to actually carry a gun in certain countries. But the second you start blowing away people in public, that's when your ass goes to jail. That's when you are taken away from society. You have the right to swing your fist. The second it hits me, I have the right to defend myself. Understand that. Now, I just came back from a vacation in Greece. Had to get 2 PCRs before I left this country. I had to show that I was vaccinated. And once I was in Greece, I had to produce all of this paperwork with my entire family, who are all vaccinated. My 12-year-old and my 14-year-old, all vaccinated. We had the liberty to travel freely and enjoy a quick, inexpensive vacation. But when you're on a crowded ferry, and I'll put a video up here, and you realize that you're among 1,000 to 2,000 people crammed together in a room in a crowded space. Forget the plane. We know that everybody's there is vaccinated. But the ferries demanded to see our PCR tests and our vaccinated certificates, knowing full well that everybody was on that ferry that were vaccinated, even though Greece is undergoing a massive outbreak again. The majority of people that were on those ferries were tourists that had to be vaccinated. Now, even our taxi drivers, hotel attendants, everybody were vaccinated. Everyone clearly said they were vaccinated. Yet we all still kept the responsibility of wearing the mask. The 1 or 2 people who weren't wearing a mask, I got triggered. I got slightly triggered, like, shit, man. Adhere to the rules and wear the mask. Let's get through this pandemic together so that we can all start striving as a society. Stop thinking like individuals. My right, my right, my right. Of course you have rights. You have the right to not wear the mask. You have the right to not get vaccinated. Sure, you have the right to hold a gun. Once you start freaking putting those bullets out there, that's when you should be isolated. That's the issue that most people don't see. This idea that, oh, my rights are being violated. I just find this so bizarre as we grow as a society. And I just wish that people could see it like that and just stop looking at me. It's my rights are restricted. The reality of it is we cannot grow as a society as individuals. But there are a lot of individuals out there who's lost their jobs, okay, that are old, that will die. And you can point it off like, oh, well, everybody dies. That's the most cynical crap I've ever heard from individuals. That's just cold. You're either a sociopath or a psychopath that would think that, okay, there are people in society that needs to die off because we have a pandemic, and government shouldn't do anything about it. Just let nature run its course. Let's not have a vaccine. Let's wait 15 to 16 years, your time period for human trials. Oh, 10 years? Okay, let's make 10 years. Let's just have those trials in 10 years and let's see what happens. Even though modern technology is there to provide safe and effective vaccines. Let's wait 10 years. 10 years of a virus just running through every society. Okay, just for the sake of everybody's rights. And here's the thing. All of these individuals who complain about their rights, no one comes up with a solution. Okay, what is the solution? What would you suggest governments and society do to preserve the life of as many individuals as possible? The masses. Please give me solutions. Because everybody who talks about their rights and their whole idea of, oh, I have the right to spread the virus and do whatever I want, whether I want to wear a mask or not, please tell me a solution. Give me one. Give me one good solution that could work, that would help the entire society or help most of the people in the society. It's impossible to help all of it. Government's job is to provide good safety and human rights to all individuals, regardless of age, gender, okay, socioeconomic background. That is their job. That's why we elect our members. That's why people are in power, are in charge. If they can't provide that simple task, then they shouldn't be in office. But all of you who are crying about, oh, I don't want to take the vaccine and it's my right, please give me a solution. Stop complaining about your rights. Sure, you can walk around with a bomb, but please tell me, how does that protect the rest of society? If you can't come up with a solution, you have the right to shut up, do what the rest of the society is doing to protect itself, so that we can all move ahead. Because there are a lot of people suffering, not only health-wise, but financially as well, that needs this vaccine. And this is all the problem that we have with climate change. No country wants to make the sacrifice of reducing emissions. No country wants to, and no individual wants to totally get rid of plastic. If we all just decided today, we're not using plastic, give me my stuff in a paper bag or give me my stuff in my hand that I'll take it to my car, I can guarantee you all of these plastic companies would go out of business and we would stop the plastic problem. I can guarantee you if we start moving back into sacrifices, the emissions would shut down. I'm not saying going back to the donkey in the cart. I'm saying we need to actually look at taking public transport rather than taking your car, arrive 10, 15 minutes later as opposed to, burning fuels. Listen, I digress, but I think you get exactly what I'm talking about. Here's the thing. Here's a test. If you don't know who your neighbors are, you're probably a little bit too individualistic. This is the issue. I'm just giving you a small taste of what I'm talking about, individualism. It's all about me. I can survive on my own. I got Uber. I got Deliveroo. I got all of these services that are part of modern technology that do not require me to actually see other and interact with other people. Problem with that is you're ignoring the fact that there are other people behind the scenes making your life very comfortable. And you got to protect those people because those people are part of the society. My friends, thanks for listening to my rant. Let me know what you think, because I just get so frustrated when I keep seeing these issues with the me, my right, my this. But as a society, we're all still suffering because no businesses can open up, nothing can survive, and we're in a really, really horrible situation. One thing else I want to add quickly. The only people I hear complaining about COVID isn't that bad are the people who never had it that severely, right? Those are the lucky ones, right? And the ones who are dead. In other words, they're the ones that can't say shit. Okay, those are the only two that says, COVID isn't that bad. The issue with people who've actually had COVID and not had bad issues is that they cannot identify with people who are going through the problems with it. Listen, man, even when I tell other individuals about how excruciating it was for me, my wife goes, it wasn't that bad. Why do you keep telling people that it's that bad? Because my wife was isolated away from me. In the middle of the night when I had problems breathing, and I had to get up to try to solve the problem myself, what do? Do I go, honey, I can't, I'm having problems. What, she gonna rush down and help me? No! She has childhood, from the time she was a child, she's had bronchitis, right? She's had, is it bronchitis? One of these breathing issues. There is no way I would call her and put her in danger because I'm suffering. That does not comprehend with me and my problems. So both of us are sick with 2 kids? No. So I refuse to even utter any words to her to make her feel that she's obligated to come and help me. Problem is she was isolated from my pain, so she didn't see my pain and suffering. She only saw afterwards or heard my stories afterwards. But telling someone that you're in pain versus someone seeing you in pain is completely different, okay? Don't care how hard you try to tell someone how much you're in pain. When they see somebody suffering, that is when they get triggered and understand, wow, this person is in trouble. Okay, but I would never call my wife to come down. So this creates a problem of isolating the problem, isolating the suffering. To be honest, I think one of the best things to cure people in this bullshit about, COVID isn't that bad, is to constantly have cameras in intensity wards and in hospitals to see the problem it creates. Not only for the people that are suffering from COVID, but the people who can't get into the hospital because it's full with COVID patients. That's what I would love to be able to see. The realities of it. This is the problem with our society. We have sterilized the news so freaking bad. No one sees the blood. No one sees the explosions. People only see the guns. They don't see, they see the guns and they see the shots and the sounds. But no one sees the person blown apart. No one sees a bullet ripping through another person. No one sees the aftermath of an exploded body. No one sees that because we have sterilized our society. We need to get cameras in hospitals where people are having serious problems breathing and showing people taking their last breath That's what we need to show to see the realities of what this world is going through. Okay? This is the issue. Sterilization is a serious problem that makes us all live in this bubble. Oh, it's not so bad. Oh, it's not this. It's not that. It's okay. You'll survive. Tell that to the people that are dead. And this is the problem. We lack empathy for others suffering. It's not happening to me, so it's not that bad. What about the people who are still suffering from the underlying problems, who had to go on respirators, who have massive long-term lung damage? Those people are the ones that saying, holy crap. And I can tell you, with the cost of healthcare going forward, you're going to see a lot of people in serious trouble because they've had COVID problems, especially in America. Let's not forget that, you know, where a lot of this crap came from was Americans. A lot of those people who have horrible health care are going to be suffering long term because the millions of people who have been infected by COVID in a dangerous way, they're going to have problems where they're going to have to be going back to the hospital with long-term damage. Anyway, just want to add that in so you guys can understand the problem that we're going to have. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about us as a society.